All right. Hi, guys. Welcome again. This is Kevin coming to you again from career coaching, innovative career coaching, that is. We just want to continue from last week and actually go over one or two things and then continue from what we had. Now, we talk about the introductions of principles and systems, but one of the major principles is leverage. And we want to look at leverage today, and then I'll show you actually two simple technologies that you have in your position that you just need to leverage. Now, the thing about leverage is that you can actually produce more results than you actually have. But the challenge is that we have this routine that we go through every day that keeps us back from actually creating the results that we want. One big routine is actually getting to work, and of course, taking the different routes that you normally use to get to work, getting to work at a particular time, or getting to a particular project at a particular time. There are different routines that we use for different things, when it's getting ready, when it's getting home, when it's getting to bed. And routine is very important, but a routine could actually distract you from getting the best if you don't do one specific, ask the right question. You always have to be asking questions to your routines and even to the things that you're doing every now and then to find out, is this still relevant? Am I really doing what I'm supposed to be doing? Am I enjoying this? Things like that. Is this what I'm supposed to be doing now? One of the challenge is that people don't ask the question because they're afraid of the answers, and that's a big challenge. Okay? But you need to start asking questions, putting aside a time, a day or a week, where you sit and reflect on what you're doing and finding out if this is really what you're doing. Now, people use vacation to vacate and have fun, but they don't realize that they could actually use vacation to recuperate and even to adjust, and even to ask questions to make the right adjustment. Right? And of course, once you start asking the right questions, you realize that there are a lot of things that you're doing that are not allowing you to build your dreams. Right? They actually have you in a trap. So you need to have that freedom so you can build the career that you want. And that comes from looking at how you spend your time, what you're doing with it, how you're doing it, and of course, what you're using to actually get the things done that you need to get done. Is that the only way you can get it done? You have to go through that process in order to get freedom. The freedom includes, of course, extra time on your hands. The freedom also includes the right people in your life, connecting with the right people, and also include getting systems to take some of the burden, the actual uh, heavy lifting away from you. You can actually get more done in less time. And when we find that freedom, we start putting things in place to execute the plan that we have for the career and lifestyle that we want. And one of the major places to start is with your gifts and talents. A lot of people don't know their gifts. Uh, and of course, there are a few people who don't know their talents. But talents is equipment for the gift. It's not really the gift. All right. It's just the material that is used or the muscles that are used to get the gift done. That is why in our career coaching program we start with the gift because it's what you're naturally great at and it's the solution that you bring to the table that a lot of people don't have. Because with the gift you also eliminate competition, which is a big deal for a lot of people. And of course from the gift you discover that in your gift or when serving your gift, you realize that there's a problem that needs your attention. It captures your attention and you start coming up with ideas of how this problem can be solved. If people having a particular problem in the area of your gift, and therefore your ideas are what they need to solve the problem. And to bring that idea to a concrete solution, you need to have a plan. The plan, of course, is depends on how you would train the plan. And if you don't have the training, it's good to find someone who has done things like that before and follow their plan, follow how they plan. And the only way they can tweak it. to specific solution that you want to create, right? And of course, in that specific solution is a product or service that you are providing for people who have a problem, right? That gives you value. The more valuable your product or service is, the more valuable you are, and of course, the higher your pay. That's something we discussed last time about who is your value. Stones and rocks are common, but diamonds you have to dig for it because it's more valuable, and of course, it's worth, right? And of course, to create that product or service, there's certain skills that you have to develop, and that comes from a habit of doing something over and over. So you have a new routine from the old routine, right? The new routine helps you to progress to the lifestyle that you want, the career that you want, to the service you want to provide, to the product you want to create. So you develop these new habits. And of course, once you start creating that, it's an automatic result of the career that you land yourself into. A place where people start calling you, not you start calling people. Where people start sending you requests, not you sending people requests. So it reverses the whole process of having a career. Instead of you job hunting, they're job hunting for you. All right. Now, one of the big thing with getting things done is that I've learned to two of my most powerful mentors, Dr. Miles and Mr. Evans, about getting more done in less time. Dr. Miles was someone who was a government advisor and consultant and trainer. He was also a writer, author. He's an international speaker. He was a consultant for international companies like Sony and Microsoft and a lot of these big name companies around the world. Um, he was also a dedicated husband, found the time to have fun with his wife, and of course, a dedicated father who had time to spend with his children. So much so that his children left their job voluntarily and joined his organization to work with him and for him. I mean, that was so awesome, right? That's a kind of testimony in itself. That's a result in itself. A lot of people are busy, but they don't know how to do that. Of course, Mr. Eban is what I call the most successful internet marketer that I know who has a legitimate international business. The only one I know who has been able to create $100 million US business from his computer, not from having any offices, not even from having physical products, all educational or training products, and a team that's around the world and it's all virtual. All his meetings are virtual, all his connections are virtual, all his collaborations are virtual, right? Except, of course, where other people invite him to collaborate with them, like Tony Robbins and Sir Richard Branson, and where colleges have asked him to do guest lectures, and even some of his material and some of his principles, Silicon Valley is using some of his principles because of how powerful they are. Now, this gentleman has no degree, has no master's, has no kind of academic qualifications. But because of the work that he has done, following the principles that I spoke about earlier, he's able to achieve this kind of authority, right? And there are three things that they teach us in terms of creating value and, of course, getting more done in less time. One is prioritize. How to prioritize your life by taking what you are supposed to be doing, your vision in life, your purpose in life, and make that your number one priority. And of course, the second one is organizing the plan to make that priority a reality. Making a plan, putting an organized plan in place. So you're ordering your priorities, or you're ordering your life, or your days, or your time, or your calendar based upon the priority in life, the goal, the main goal, or the main objective of your life, right? And the third one is discipline, which is acting out or consistently progressing in the organized plan, acting out the organized plan in a consistent manner. I call it optimizing because when you start doing that, you create value. You create a particular optimal performance that people see as genius that comes out of you. Now, these three things, we teach this in on a program, and it's going to be in the book that is coming out, Creating Your Career, right? That book is supposed to be coming out this year. I'm trying to finish it by June. So stay tuned for more. But just before we finish, remember there's two technologies that you know. As I tell people, there are things that you have in your life and in your home that you can use, but it's not optimized. So let me show you two things. One is called a calendar. You have a simple technology on your phone called a calendar that you can put in the calendar events and reminders as to everything that you have to do. As a matter of fact, one of the things I use my calendar to do is to plan my day the night before. So every night before I go to bed, I have what I'm supposed to do the day after. I have it down. I know what I'm supposed to do tomorrow. I have a list, 3 or 4 things, like major priorities, right? You have a busy day, then of course you have more. But that calendar allows you to protect your time so that other people who are, or other events or activities that are time stealers don't steal your time. You use your time to get your purpose established, to get your priorities done. All right. And the second one is your the whole idea of having an alarm clock. Now, this is also on your phone, and you can actually add each item that you're supposed to achieve on your alarm clock, and you put what it is for. So you can have a time to start something and a time to stop something. And therefore, that time helps you to manage what you're supposed to be doing and when it's supposed to finish and when it's supposed to be the next event. These two things you already have. I'm sure most people who have a smartphone have this on their phone. And all they need to do is to maximize it, to use it. All right? So really and truly, you need to use these technologies, simple technologies, to create leverage, to get much more done in less time. All right? To send your questions in, um, you can go down below in the YouTube, under the YouTube video, and you type in your question. You can email your questions, anything like that, and I will just reply, or I will put it in another webinar for later on and answer those questions later. All right? So have fun, and remember, leverage, get more done in less time. All right? Wonderful.